14. So if you're watching, you made it to the playoffs. Congratulations. But that ain't what it's about. It's about winning the Super Bowl. Take it from Eagles fans. Doesn't pay much to make it to the dance. You got to take home the trophy.
You don't think people just love us and want to watch it even though they're eliminated and they're not playing in the playoffs?
Yes.
You hurt my feelings. Come on.
All right, so what we're going to do this week, we're also going to break it down to
switch it up a little
two videos instead of 4. We're going to start off giving you quarterback and tight end. Second video is going to be wide receiver and running back. Jim, let's start with the quarterback position.
Who's my pickup?
Who's your pickup?
My pickup is Brandon Weeden. Going out on a limb.
Don't hate it against
You got to have
Kansas City.
some balls to win here. If you're in a bad spot, if you got Roethlisberger and a couple guys that are sitting or hurt or damaged goods, you probably don't need a quarterback. But if you do, Brandon Weeden is the guy this week who's going to put up big numbers.
So even though during Fantasy Football Overload, you just said Brady Quinn was going to be a top 12 quarterback this week,
you're not gonna bet your fantasy playoffs on Brady Quinn.
Good call.
I just think, as the prognosticator, as Fanstradamus as I am predicting Brady Quinn to be a top 12 quarterback in fantasy football this week.
So if you're a real big underdog and you got really giant balls...
No, if nobody else in your league is available, Brady Quinn's the guy you pick up.
Okay.
But
all right, who you sitting?
You going to tell me who you're picking up?
Oh, I'm picking up Russell Wilson, Jim. I'm really big on Russell Wilson, mainly because he's at home against the Cardinals.
Only in my under 6 foot league am I picking
but
up.
I think Russell Wilson has a 275-yard, 3-touchdown game.
All right. I'm sitting a big name this week. I'm sitting Phillip Rivers. I know people probably picked him 7, 8, 9 or whatever, but he's garbage. He's not putting up any points this year. I know, December is his time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going to knock the hell out of him, and he's not a pick. He's not a play this week.
Pittsburgh on the road, even though I know he's Mr. December, I am also, Jim, sitting Mr. Phillip Rivers.
There you go.
So that makes it easy. Who you dropping? Who you just done with?
I'm dropping Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're running the ball way too much in Buffalo now. Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller, Stevie Johnson's banged up. His only option really to pass to is Chandler. I'm dropping Fitzpatrick.
I'm dropping Carson Palmer.
You're crazy.
Jim, Carson Palmer is consistently not doing it. I don't want him on my bench because I don't want to be tempted to play him. I'd rather someone else throw him out there.
He's putting up good fantasy numbers. I keep him.
I do not rely on Carson Palmer. He's never my starter, so I don't want him on my bench in the playoffs. Yeah. All right, Jim, let's move to tight end. Who you adding at the tight end position this week?
I'm adding... You go first, because I don't want to steal your guy.
I didn't want to steal your guy, so I got 2 of them. So I'll take the one I know you didn't pick, and that's Mercedes Lewis, Jim.
That's funny. I do have Mercedes Lewis.
Okay. All right. Wow.
I think with Cecil Shorts banged up, I think they're going to go to him a little bit. I know you love Mercedes Lewis. He's one of my...
I've been waiting all year. I can't say Evan Moore's name, even though he made it to Seattle. So let me get on the Mercedes Lewis bandwagon. All right, who's the other guy?
My other guy I'm looking at is Tony Scheffler.
I can't believe it. I didn't say Jermichael Finley because I was sure you had Jermichael Finley.
If you watch my videos last week, Jermichael Finley was my pickup. I'm not picking him up 2 weeks in a row. I like Tony Scheffler this week. Not great, of course, but he's somebody that with Ryan Broyles getting hurt, Pettigrew's not the red zone target that Scheffler ever is. I think he has a big week this week coming up.
All right. Who you sitting, Jim?
I'm sitting Vernon Davis.
Me too.
I think you can't argue with results. As many times as I want to say this is not the way it goes, when the statistics and the data put in front of you shows you that common sense doesn't make sense, you got to go with it. Vernon Davis is not blowing up in Colin Kaepernick's offense unless Alex Smith starts. I don't play Vernon Davis.
In this point of the season, he is who his stats say he is. I am sitting Vernon Davis as well. And I am cutting Garrett Graham. He was a guy who looked like a possible play if Owen Daniels couldn't make it. But now Owen Daniels is back. He's healthy. Garrett Graham isn't getting enough looks to have him in consideration in fantasy football for your playoffs.
And I'm cutting Dustin Keller. He kind of came back, had a couple of games, 1 game and a half, whatever, where he looked good. I'm getting rid of him. I don't care who the quarterback is, whether it's Tebow, Sanchez, or the rookie kid. It's not going to matter. They're not throwing it.
All right, that's us at the quarterback and tight end position. Tell us what you think. Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com. Eric at SuicideFantasySports.com. On Facebook, we're Suicide Fantasy Football. On Twitter, we're SFF Insider. And don't forget to check out what we invented. Suicide Fantasy Football is the coolest way anybody's ever played fantasy football. Pick a new roster of players each week, but once you pick a player, you lose them for the season.
And check out our graphic right here. It tells you what time we're on Blog Talk Radio.
See you next with running backs and wide receivers.